Toastmasters, and welcome guests. Good evening. I was until recently Andrea Simpson. On the 22nd of November 2014, I became Mrs. Andrea Simpson Booth. I have a daughter who's quite wonderful, called Lana, and she's 8. And I have a husband who's fantastic, and he's 9 years younger than me. Still got it. As a child, I struggled at school with dyslexia. My parents sent me to a private school for girls in the hope that the smaller classes would help me. I didn't care much for the lessons, but I enjoyed the social aspect of school, and I enjoyed the sporting activities. After failing all but one GCSE, I was told by my head teacher that I was no longer welcome back for sixth form, and would probably end up stacking shelves in a supermarket for the rest of my life. I hated anyone telling me I was a failure, and it always spurred me on to do greater and better things. That evening, I went home and broke the news to my parents. But it helped reduce the pain that I told them I had a plan. I was going to be a tennis coach. 1.5 years later, I qualified to be a professional tennis coach. I was offered a position in a tennis club, but ended up working for myself. I coached for a few years and saved up enough money as I wanted to go travelling to Australia. I had a friend at school from Australia, and she went back there when we were 12. And I promised her when I had a job and some money, I would come and see her. We wrote to each other for a few years, but life got away with us and we lost contact. But the dream of going to Australia was still there. I brought a ticket to Sydney and had £300 in my pocket and a work visa. So off I went. I decided I'd take my tennis racket and see if I could get any coaching jobs. I found out that John Newcombe, who is a famous tennis player, Australian tennis player, was opening up a club and needed some coaches. So he was playing in a charity tennis competition that weekend. So that's where I headed. Seeing John Newcombe on court warming up, I didn't really have a plan. So I decided that I would walk around the outside of the court and wait for him to come and pick up some balls, and then I would talk to him. So he came to the back of the court, but there was a windbreaker attached to the fence. So I got down on my belly, and I looked up at this man and said, "Excuse me, I need a job." He looked at me in shock, and the sight of seeing a lady lying on her belly, at least I wasn't on my back asking for a job. He gave me his number. Told me to call him. I got the job, in case you were wondering. Once I returned home from travelling, I decided that I didn't want to be a tennis coach. At this point, I didn't really know what I wanted to do until I watched Gladiators on the television. And the lady who won Gladiators, Eunice, became a stunt woman. This was it. So I went to the job centre. I queued up. It took forever. I got to the front of the queue and I said, "I want to be a stunt woman." And the man asked, "Do you mean security guard, love?" I went, "No, I really want to be a stunt woman." So he told me the way. He went through some doors and he was ages. So that's it, he's gone for lunch, he's not coming back. Finally, he came back, gave me a number to ring. So, went home and I rang a company called Equity, and they sent me the information. The information came stating I had to be trained in 6 different sporting activities to a high standard. I needed a certain amount of acting contracts too. I looked at everything and decided the best option was not to get started, as it was harder than I'd anticipated, so in the bin it went. It didn't stay there long, as I love a challenge, and I hate even myself telling me I can't do something. The impossible became possible, and in 3 years I qualified to be a stunt woman. Not many people can say that. One of the sporting activities I enjoyed the most was kickboxing, and I went on to get 2 black belts, become a world champion, and open and run a full-time professional martial arts academy. I ran this for 9 years alongside Lana's dad. Business was going well, but things didn't work out between Lana's dad and myself. So finally, I left with Lana to start life again. My worst fear had happened. I'm a single mum on benefit, living with my parents. Just when I thought things couldn't get worse, I had a disagreement with my parents, and Lana and I became homeless and were put in a bedsit with drug dealers and addicts. Now I was in my worst nightmare. The only way now was up, and that's where we were heading. Long story short, we moved in with Phil, Lana started school, and I started cleaning. I became so busy, I decided to start a cleaning business. After running the business for 3 years, on January the 1st this year, we ceased trading. I believe to be truly successful in anything you do, you have to love what you're doing. I did my job well, but I finally realised that my passion for cleaning wasn't there. So I have decided to become a motivational speaker, which I have been thinking about for a while. I was just waiting for the right time. I'm a very driven and determined person, and I think more so since I had Lana. It is important for me to show Lana that life is full of ups and downs, and you just have to dig deep on the downs, and you have to celebrate your ups. Even at our lowest point, I've always told Lana that you have to keep following your dreams and never give up. I'm not there yet, but remember, life's a journey, not a destination. Thank you.